So I wanted to real quick make a rant about my buddy Dev's approach to making friends and doing community, which I think it's a really beautiful approach. So like, there's this like weird idea. I saw a post about this recently. It was like a tweet that somebody reposted on Instagram, and this guy said that he wished he knew when he started his business that the way to scaling your business is not by getting new customers, it's by keeping the customers that you already have, which I think is like a really cool and profound insight. And then I heard it was an interview from Hank Green talking with another creator on YouTube, and he said that his advice for new creators is always spend 90% of your time deepening your relationship with your current audience instead of trying to get new audience members. So very similar kind of advice, and I think this is my buddy Deb's way of doing community. He has a firm and deep belief that everyone is equally valuable and equally worth uh, befriending, and doesn't matter how wealthy they are, how attractive they are. He treats everyone with uh, the same respect and also the same seriousness. He tries to get to know everyone and just befriend people, make a really genuine connection with people. And I've seen him do this with um, really like beautiful and attractive people, and also with like people who are like apparently homeless and or just like social outcasts and misfits. He just welcomes everybody. He's just like a super sweet person, and he tries to make like deep connections with everyone. And I think I would like to interview him about his methods at some point again, because I've already talked with him about this one time, and he said a lot of this stuff, but and I've been trying to describe his way of doing things for a while because I see the potency in it, and what the way that he gets new friends is not by trying to make new friends all the time. He does make new friends a lot, and he does it quickly, and also like he makes genuine connections, and also he has like a system for like keeping track of the connections that he makes. And he's like he has events, and he organizes events and stuff. But what he does is he relies on the connections that he has already made in order to bring him new cool connections. That's his whole thesis. It's his whole like uh, you know, modus operandi. I don't know what you call it. That's his strategy, is just like make connections so good that other people will want to bring their connections to you. And I don't know. It's a really beautiful strategy. It's obvious that like absolutely everyone that interacts with him is pleased as punch to have interacted with him. Um, uh, Everybody fucks with him. I don't know a single person who doesn't like him as a person. And um, my assumption for a long time was the opposite, that you should get so good at making new friends that I don't know, that people want to be with you because of that. And I am starting to question my previous way of doing things. Like it's really important to be good at making new friends, and also to be good at like crossing social barriers and boundaries in order to make connections. But the more I look at and study social dynamics, the less I am convinced that you can meaningfully make good connections just I don't know. Anyways, I just want to talk about my buddy Dev's way of doing things. I think it's beautiful. I think I'm probably going to start emulating it soon. And yeah. Okay, here's a question that I want to ask. I met this girl recently at this party. She's really beautiful. She looks like she's in her late 30s, but like really pretty Latina. And she was sitting on top of this stump. It was like this party in Golden Gate Park. She's sitting on top of this like high stump, and I went to talk to her. I was like, "Oh, it's so funny you're sitting on top of this high stump." And then we talked for like probably like 15 minutes. We had like a really good conversation, and it's like learning all about her life. She grew up, not grew up. She has two kids, and she's getting divorced, and she's recently single. We talked about like I guess like our life philosophies or something, and I was like not sure if I liked her in like a romantic, sexy way. I was just trying to be friendly. That's how I was thinking of it. But but also she was like really beautiful, and I was like, what the fuck? Would this go anywhere? But then I was like, I don't know. She's like a mom, and she was talking about how like she's so busy being a mom and also doing everything else, and she feels bad for not spending enough time with the kids. And she says she's a student, et cetera, et cetera. She's like, and I was like, damn, I don't know if I want to get involved in all this. I don't know. Anyways, I said goodbye. I was like, I'm gonna talk with some more people now at this party, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, she had also just talked with me about how she's an introvert and she struggles with meeting new people. But I was also kind of like a little bit like, she's very sweet and also she's very beautiful. I'm sure that she doesn't struggle that much meeting new people. Um, and and anyway, so I said I goodbye and I went off and I talked with a bunch of other people. And then I saw at one point she was like off sitting in a corner talking with another guy and looking out at this lake, this beautiful little spot with like this little outdoor party in Golden Gate Park. It was so pretty. And then like I talked with her once like really briefly before she left, but she seemed kind of cold. And I was like, oh, like I don't know if I like offended her or made her think that I didn't like her. I don't know, maybe like romantically or not. I have this theory about how the traditional model of relationships is really like ownership based, and like I think like a more enlightened like way of viewing relationships is one where you don't think in terms of ownership. You think in terms of like mutual celebration and love. Um, I don't know. Anyway, so like what the fuck was it? I don't know if she is like was offended for that reason or just like felt like I left too abruptly. I don't know. I have no idea why, but it's just like it really bothers me because I thought she was really cool. I want her to think well of me. I didn't want just the fact that I went off to talk with other people to be a bummer in any way, and yet it was. I think I like she was a bit more cold to me. Like I had said that I didn't like her. I don't know. Like I had like snubbed her somehow. Like I don't know. I feel like it's definitely a thing that happens. Like if you signal to somebody that you're only interested in being friends and not interested in being like romantically interested, then they take it as an insult. And it's so weird because I don't want it to. I don't know how to not do that. You know what I mean? Okay. Anyways, that was a long ass way of saying what I wanted to say. Okay, so I have been finding a couple of new workflows in the last few weeks, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited, like a heavy use of transcription tools and also recording tools, and also I think I discovered like a new philosophy for video creation that I think is actually like hands down superior, which is that it's like you should plan your content ahead of time instead of back editing. I call it forward editing. And the idea is this like um, don't do 100 takes. Uh, what you do is you plan ahead and plan well enough so that you can do some portion of it perfectly on the first take, and then you just do that take. And I think obviously there is like some mix of forward and backward editing that you can do, but like this as it's actually it's more of a philosophy than it is like a way of editing because you can get a perfect video uh, with either method, but the difference is with forward editing, because you're planning everything ahead of time, you spend a lot less time worrying about like for me, like there is a huge like mental burden in going back through stuff that I've made in order to edit it because I never know while I'm making it if it is going to be good or not. So I'm depending on myself in the future to go back through it and edit it to make it good. But if I plan ahead, what happens is that I obviously do like the same work that I would do after I have filmed in order to edit it, but I do it ahead of time, and and it's a lot easier and faster to make edits in my mind and in my plan than it is to make edits in retrospect. And I don't know why I've never heard anyone talk about this as like a methodology. Like obviously, I know a lot of YouTubers write scripts and stuff, and I've always kind of disliked the idea of writing a script, not because I'm against like the planning that writing a script represents, but because like writing a script is kind of like way too formal for most of the stuff that I want to do. Like most of the stuff I want to do, I just want to get it out of my head and onto the page. And so I found this really cool video, like it's an audio recording tool, and I might try to find some equivalent in video form, which is it's just an audio tool that records only when there is enough sound to it's above like a threshold, and then it starts recording. And it's been super useful because I can just like speak and then pause, and then it stops recording, which means I don't have to like go back through and edit all of the recording in hindsight, which there are tools that will let you do that, but the ones that I'm using like work better if the audio is shorter and just so like having the audio shorter in the first place helps a lot. But I don't know. All I mean to say is that, like, as an ideology, as a philosophy, I'm surprised that, like, I feel like the efficiency is like easily 2 or 3 times greater. And I think if I was going to be doing this a lot, the efficiency would like easily be like an order of magnitude greater. Like, it's just a way more efficient way of doing things. And I'm really excited to go forward with it. I think it's really going to help me be able to publish a lot more stuff without needing to put in an exorbitant amount of work. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is something that I have been aware of my whole life, but not really realized that I identified with it and fuck with it. And that is like the idea of, I was talking with this idea of Kung Fu. I was talking with Gemini yesterday about this. So it mostly is like an Eastern methodology, or at least like the way it has been presented to me is mostly an Eastern methodology, which is, it's like, so apparently it comes from Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, although I'm not really sure what parts come from which parts. Essentially, it's the idea of continuous self-improvement and mastery forever, without any breaks, as a personal good that you should strive for. And I really fuck with that idea. I think that is so important. It has like, I have before I have said that I feel like I have sort of like a monastic life in some ways, sort of like a monk crossed with a mad scientist. But maybe another way of saying that is I am more like a Shaolin monk crossed with a mad scientist, which is to say, like, I believe in mastery. Like, I think that like the monks that I knew of when I was growing up are most of the Christian tradition, and there was a lot of that sort of stuff. But the mastery was often like less demonstratable, or more like kind of soft, I guess. Like, a lot of it was in like writing or music, or meditative practices, doing the same thing over and over again. I think there's a lot of that in like the Eastern monk traditions. But for me, it's not. It's about continuous growth and self-improvement. And I've been watching a lot of Chinese animes recently, although this is like a theme that is also in a lot of Japanese animes and a lot of other places. And also, I think really any culture that had like, any society had a culture of modern arts, martial arts, probably also has like some kinship with this idea. But there's like these Chinese animes that I've been watching, and they are so interesting to me because there are often like a very prominent theme of like you can grow infinitely, and also you can grow forever. Like there is no, it's not even like a theoretical limit. There is no limit. Like the sky, like you can do anything. And also often like there's like a theme of immortality, which means that like people can continuously grow forever. As long as nothing bad happens to them, they can grow forever, which means that like, it's just like the imagination is the limit. Like, like I've been watching this one, it's called Renegade Immortal. It's really interesting. It's about a guy who, continuously grows forever. And also, he uses just like very different values. Like there's like in that show, there's like a really heavy emphasis on familial piety as like a core value, and also like reciprocity. If somebody does something good for you, you do something good for them back. But also if somebody does something bad to you, you do something bad to them back. And it's just like the moral framework is really different. So this guy, like, it's also like set in a world where like basically everyone is a sociopath. Everyone is like doing things where like they can kill and eat each other and take each other's like spiritual energy and use it to accelerate their own growth. And so everybody's like on guard against everyone around them, trying to prevent themselves from getting killed and eaten for their spiritual energy. But also they are low-key interested in killing and eating everyone else to take their spiritual energy so they can use it to grow. And also it's just like this weird like power scaling stuff where like every time he levels up and grows like an order of magnitude in power, he faces a new set of challenges. And also like he becomes like supreme master and able to deal with all the challenges that he was dealing with yesterday, completely able to deal with all those challenges. But usually like they're no longer interesting to him. He only is interested in dealing with the new challenges, and the new challenges are usually just like people who are on the new level all of a sudden becoming aware of him and being like, oh, I'm going to kill and eat you now. And I don't know, it's a really fascinating show. And there's like a lot of instances of like him participating in a war. He participates in a war in like the first season, and he kills like 1,000 people. And he's like merciless about it. And then like people get mad at him, and in the second season, they come to find him and kill him for doing that. And he kills like 10,000 people as a warning, just be like, don't fuck with me. And then like in like the fourth or fifth season, there's multiple instances of genocide. He just like, he like casually like erases like 40 or 50,000, people because there was like an army standing against him, and he was just like, I don't have time for this. And he just kills them all. And I don't know, it's just like really interesting stuff, but also like he has a wife and he cares a lot about his wife, and he's trying to like basically like fight reality in order to make himself a better person. And I don't know, it's very interesting. But the thing that I resonate with is the continuous growth and expansion adding value. I think that's a really important value, and I really resonate with it. And I think that it makes it's like there's a beauty and an awe to it. Like there's this passage in the Bible that talks about how like the pleasure of God is to conceal a matter, and the pleasure of a king is to find it out. It's like a game of cat and mouse kind of, where like there is so much beauty in the world, but a lot of it has yet to be discovered. And you can only discover it if you continuously grow and expand. And if you don't stop at any point, if you give up on the search, there's a lot of beauty that you will miss out on. That's kind of like implied. And that's the part that I resonate with. I feel like there's so much beauty in the process of discovery. I really love it. I really feel like I am blessed to be in a position to make these discoveries, and I don't ever want to stop. But also, it feels kind of monastic, and it's just like I am denying myself like a lot of like the normal things that normal people enjoy, and also like the normal stuff that normal people think is important. And it's not that I don't want any of that stuff. It's just that I don't have time to pursue it, and I don't know. Anyways, I guess I would say that I identify with being a Kung Fu master as one of my goals. Although I'm not literally like Kung Fu the martial art, but like Kung Fu as it is used to mean a continuous pursuit of self-improvement. Yeah.